returning and new sponsors. I also want to thank the Buffalo Board of Parking and Buffalo Civic Auto Ramps for making free parking available on New Year's Eve at the nearby Mohawk ramp and the Fernbach ramp, so you don't have to worry about parking to come to Ball Drop. The Ball Drop is an important fundraiser for the Buffalo Police Athletic League, which serves more than 20,000 children each year through its many free sports and education programs. As PAL Chair, I want to thank Doug Jamal and Douglas Development for kicking off PAL's Holiday Giving campaign a few weeks ago with a very, very generous donation. PAL is hoping to reach its goal of $50,000 by the start of the new year. Please consider making a donation to assist our children in the city of Buffalo. Funds raised will support important winter and year-round recreation and enrichment programs for our city's youth. I also want to remind people today that while many of us will gather with loved ones over the next few weeks to celebrate the holiday season, be sure to take some time to reflect and to remember those who are less fortunate, those who are hurting, and those who need our compassion in the community. As a community, we experience one of the most painful chapters in Buffalo's history, when a racist gunman traveled to East Buffalo on May 14th and killed 10 precious people and wounded 3 others. This holiday season won't be easy for many families in our community. Let's continue to show each other in the world that in Buffalo, we continue to find strength and peace when we stand united and support one another through acts of love and kindness. Now, to tell us more about Buffalo's New Year's Eve ball drop is someone who has been doing ball drop my entire time as mayor of the city of Buffalo, and that is none other than DJ Jigster from 97 Rock, as well as 7 WKBW's Good Morning Buffalo anchors, Ed Dranch and Katie Morse.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and welcome everyone to the 2022 Buffalo Ball Drop and Fireworks Press Conference. I'm Katie Morse, joined of course by my Good Morning Buffalo co-anchor, Ed Dranch.
The microphone is falling, so we'll just take it out. How's that? Probably so much easier. Katie and I are so excited to be hosting New Year's Eve once again on 7 ABC, but what would New Year's Eve be without the one and only DJ Jigster from 97 Rock?
Thanks, Ed Drance. Pleasure to be back here again. 97 Rock's been doing this since 1988. Hard to believe it's the 35th year. We are looking forward to it, and it's really a great time, and we're going to tell you more about it in just a little bit, but it's something that if you've never been to Buffalo for the ball drop, make it, put it on your list now and see it December 31st.
So Channel 7 WKBW has partnered with 97 Rock for more than 3 decades, alongside the City of Buffalo, Police Athletic League, and Buffalo Place for this event.
This year, we are excited to be planning festivities that will begin on New Year's Eve right here at the Iskolo Development Building, also known as the Electric Tower. Brought to you by, the mayor just mentioned it, the presenting sponsor, M&T Bank, the City of Buffalo, and Buffalo Place. And our entertainment sponsors is Uniland Development, Modern Disposal Services, and all new this year, Niagara Frontier Auto Dealers Association. The ball drop raises critical proceeds for the Police Athletic League of Buffalo that are invested into providing youth from the city of Buffalo with free sports, educational, cooking, and wellness programs that take place after school and on weekends. Thank you, sir. I only have one arm. At safe, citywide recreational facilities and a partnership with the Buffalo Police Department, which, of course, do an outstanding job.
It is really difficult to operate up here with just one arm. Here's the deal. Channel 7 is live streaming everything starting at 10 p.m., which is a little bit different than what we've done in years past. So we're going to be live at 10 p.m. in Roosevelt Plaza. Katie and I are going to be there, and 7 News weekend anchor Taylor Epps is going to be live roving throughout the crowd. So if you're in the crowd, we want to see your faces. We want you to cheer, say hello to Taylor. For those of you at home, we want you to tune in to Second Cup, which, by the way, airs every morning at 8 o'clock on Facebook Live and our WKBW app. But we're going to be doing a special New Year's Eve Second Cup. So pick up your phone, download our WKBW app, and tune in. That's going to be at 11:30. We're going to chat on all things New Year's Eve, and we'll conclude the evening with the ball drop and, of course, those fabulous fireworks. Chickster.
I'm not sure where we are, Ed.
Here, right here.
We are so happy to have many returning sponsors. The new sponsors for our event this year include our presenting sponsor, M&T Bank. Many thanks to our other sponsors, Iskolo Development, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Douglas Development, Fry Electric, AAA Western and Central New York, Uber, Uniland Development, Modern Disposal Services, the Niagara Frontier Auto Dealers Association, which is also known as the NFADA, 7 WKBW-TV, and of course the mighty 97 Rock. They always have the radio guy do all the sponsors, so that's why I was confused, but here you go.
Thank you. Us news guys can't do that. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you the Vice President and Executive Director of Buffalo Place, Michael Chamond, and from Buffalo Police Athletic League, the Executive Director, Nakia Kemp, to tell us more about this year's events. Michael and Nakia.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This year has been monumental for the Police Athletic League of Buffalo. Buffalo PAL youth programs have grown exponentially, and our organization is gearing up for a busy winter season that will welcome many children and teens across the city of Buffalo. On behalf of the Board of Directors, chaired by Mayor Byron W. Brown, we are incredibly grateful to all of this year's New Year's Eve ball drop sponsors. This event directly supports Buffalo PAL. This is the season of giving, and the Buffalo community has been a huge support in making sure that Buffalo PAL continues to offer the critical social-emotional, educational, enrichment, and physical fitness programs needed for our youth and teenagers across the city of Buffalo. You can now support now by donating to buffalopal.com and attending this year's New Year's Eve ball drop in beautiful downtown Buffalo. The Police Athletic League of Buffalo is excited to ring in the new year with our community, and we look forward to entering the new year of great programming for our youth across the city of Buffalo. We'd like to thank all of the sponsors and our partnership with Buffalo Place for making this happen. 35 years. Thank you.
35 years, it seems like it was just the other day. Actually, that's the first event that I ever worked. I started on December 22nd, 1988, and Rick Reinhardt turned to me on New Year's Eve and said, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "I'm going to go home and spend it with my family." He said, "No, you're not. They're having a ball drop. We don't know all the particulars. 97 Rock ran it, and it's just grown in 35 years." And what I'd like to say is, on behalf of the Board of Directors of Buffalo Place, we're just thrilled. You know, it's an event that brings so many people into downtown Buffalo. It supports the businesses in downtown. People just have a good time. We've never had an issue, and the reason we've never had an issue is because we've got the best police department in the country that protects us that night. The fire department's there, and it's for a great cause. Police Athletic League, they do such great things for the children of this community, and that's why I think Buffalo Place is so pleased to be able to work with them. It's so important that our youth of our community have an opportunity to live in Buffalo, grow in Buffalo, educate in Buffalo, and love Buffalo. So on behalf of Buffalo Place, thank you, Mayor. It's been great working with everybody, and we're going to have a great New Year's. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nakia. Thank you, Mike. And thank you for all your work your teams put into our community and to make it its best. So we greatly appreciate you guys. This event each year would not be possible without support from our gracious sponsors, as I mentioned. On behalf of our presenting sponsor, M&T Bank, here is the Senior Executive VP of Corporate Services, Keith Belanger.
Thanks, Chickster. M&T Bank is pleased to again be the presenting sponsor of this long-running downtown Buffalo New Year's Eve celebration. This is an event where we reflect on what has happened in the year coming to a close and where we anticipate the year to come. Certainly 2022 was a challenging year, and the mayor pointed out something I was going to point out here also. No single event stood up more this last year than the attack on our black community on May 14th, a mass shooting that rocked us to our core. That said, as significant as the attack itself was, perhaps more significant was the community response to this horrific hate crime. Rather than divide us, we are somehow stronger, despite the intent of the shooter, foiling his objective, suggesting that a community of good neighbors is stronger than the act of one deranged individual. 2022 also saw us make progress climbing back from the pandemic. Nowhere is that more obvious than the slow but steady reactivation of our downtown core. But we have a ways to go to regain the momentum we had going into the pandemic. So it is safe to say that there is plenty of opportunity to move the needle in a positive way in the year to come. If you are a worker in our community with a job that has to be performed on site, which has required your presence throughout the pandemic, thank you for your continued presence and service. If you are currently in a hybrid role, meaning you have some flexibility as to when you come into our downtown, I hope that you have noticed how much better the environment feels when more of you are together in the workplace. For the remote worker who can live anywhere, thank you for choosing to stay in our community or for coming to our community. And if you're not in the workforce and just someone who calls Western New York home, we love having you here, supporting our community. Thank you for your presence. The more of us that are together, the higher the energy levels and the more reinforcing being in Western New York is. So for 2023, let's support our neighbors, particularly those in need. And let's look to re-energize our workplaces and downtown Buffalo, the urban core of our region. Come into your workplace where you can have face-to-face interactions with your workmates and support our local bars, restaurants, theaters, and other entertainment venues. If you don't, they won't be around long term. Many of them are just hanging on after nearly 3 years of unprecedented environmental challenges. We had a ton of momentum pre-pandemic, and you can feel that we are slowly but steadily getting some of that mojo back. Let's all pick the baton back up and continue the trajectory that the pandemic interfered with. Go Bills. Thank you.
Keith, thank you. And thank you for M&T's continued support of New Year's Eve in Buffalo. And just for that reminder that our community really is unique and wonderful. Our Vice President and General Manager, Mark Jeroman, wasn't able to be here today. So speaking on his behalf is going to be our Creative Services Director, Leanne Markins. Leanne's going to tell you about this year's telecast. Leanne?
Thank you, Katie, and happy Victory Monday, everybody. Special thank you to my AM Buffalo team, Emily and Kevin here this morning, and Alyssa and Mercedes and Paula holding down the fort back at home. 7KBW is excited once again to partner with the mayor, the city of Buffalo, Buffalo Place, and the Police Athletic League to bring you this year's broadcast of this year's Buffalo's New Year's celebration. Looking ahead to the big night, we invite you to join Ed and Katie and Taylor Epps live from downtown with our coverage starting even earlier this year at 10 rather than 11. Also this year, we're taking our second cup a little closer to midnight with Ed and Katie, and be sure to join the conversation starting at 11:30 as they take you into the final countdown of 2022. From all of us at 7 WKBW, we wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday season and look forward to another spectacular New Year's Eve in downtown Buffalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Keith mentioned something that was so important. If you are at the bars or out and about on this New Year's Eve, it's really important that you get home safely. AAA of Western and Central New York is making sure that you get to and from your destination safely, and it's my privilege and honor to welcome Elizabeth Carey to the podium.
Thanks, Ed. AAA's been a traffic safety advocate for more than 120 years. So we're so pleased to sponsor the ball drop once again and to remind everyone we want to wrap up 2022 and welcome 2023 safely. At the same time, we have some new research that shows some alarming statistics. AAA's Foundation for Traffic Safety just released a new survey where a lot of Americans admitted that they got behind the wheel when they thought they were over the legal limit and they drove anyway. And that number rose 24% from 2020 to 2021, even though it was on the decline before the pandemic. And the number of people saying they used marijuana and then got behind the wheel was up about 14%. So this shows that impaired driving's on the rise, unfortunately, And national statistics show that fatal vehicle crashes have also risen from 2020 to 2021. So this is something we don't want to see here in Buffalo or anywhere across the country for that matter on New Year's Eve. So we want to make sure it's a safe one. So please, you have several weeks. We're letting you know now to plan ahead in advance. Get a designated driver, book that Uber now, book a hotel and make a weekend of it right here in downtown Buffalo or wherever you're celebrating. Spend the night. Just make sure that you have a plan to get home safely so we can keep the roads safe for everyone. Let's make it a safe 2022 wrap up as we welcome 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And AAA of Western New York and Central New York. Another one of our returning sponsors this year is Douglas Development. Sean Heidinger, Director of Business Development, is with us this morning, but he lost his voice, so he's not going to be able to speak. But they were kind enough to release a statement, and I will read that to you now. Douglas Jamal and Douglas Development Corporation could not be more ecstatic to support Mayor Byron Brown and the City of Buffalo's New Year's Eve ball drop and fireworks. 2023 will prove to be another milestone year for downtown Buffalo, and we at Douglas Development are honored to be a part of the Queen City's resurgence. Our team cannot wait to ring in the new year in Roosevelt Plaza as a proud community in the heart of downtown Buffalo. So thank you very much, Douglas Jamal and Douglas Development. Thank you very much.
And of course, we hope Sean feels better because he lost his voice. There was one time in all the years that we worked together that Ed lost his voice. One time. Can you guys believe that? Seems like it would have been more. All right, Jixter, thanks again. We're also pleased to welcome a new deluxe media sponsor who's delighted to be part of the 35th anniversary of the New Year's Eve ball drop. So Michael Ball is a Vice President, Community Affairs at Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, and we'd like to invite him to say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be here. I'm Mike Ball. I'm the Vice President for Community Affairs at Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. And it's just great to be here amongst such good company, so many of our great partners to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the ball drop in downtown Buffalo. For more than 86 years, our health plan has supported programs that not only support the health and well-being of our community, but that also foster a sense of community. For myself, as a lifelong resident of the city of Buffalo, I can't remember a time when we didn't have our own ball drop. It's part of our culture, just like chicken wings and Buffalo Bills, and it's hard to imagine the New Year's Eve event without the ball drop in downtown Buffalo. We're so fortunate to have our very own Times Square moment here in downtown. It's a family-friendly event where our community can come together to celebrate victories of the last year. This year, honor those that we lost on 5/14, and look forward to the future. And we really believe that the future of our city is bright. Thank you to all the sponsors, with special thanks to Mayor Byron Brown, Buffalo Place, the Police Athletic League, Iskolo, and M&T Bank. Happy holidays, and we look forward to seeing everybody on New Year's Eve. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And then Paul Stasiak, president of NFADA, and Mark Kennedy, the events and media liaison, also here. They're pleased to appoint the Niagara Frontier Auto Dealers Association as the entertainment sponsor of the New Year's Eve ball drop, and they'd like to say a few remarks.
Let me just say this. On behalf of the new car dealers of Western New York, I think we were remiss not to thank Mayor Byron Brown, his staff, and Mike Shaman and the team at Buffalo Place. The work that they do is absolutely incredible, and everybody on this panel knows that. That's why we're here. They've led us through some very difficult times these last few years. Our industry suffered like many others. Without the mayor and his team, I don't think Buffalo would be what it is. So, Mayor, thank you very, very much. We are honored to be a first-time sponsor. Our dealers have sponsored in the past in line groups, but to be part of something that's going to electrify Buffalo on the 1st is exciting. We believe this event will re-energize Buffalo in a way that it hasn't before. We hope that momentum carries into February. Selfishly, we're the auto show, so please come out as we re-energize Buffalo in February, and that convention center will be energized throughout the year. But once again, thank you all. Thanks M&T, Iskolo, and every other sponsor for having the faith to make sure Buffalo is what it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Fenna Mondalong runs Modern Disposal Services recycling operation. She's here with us today. Fenna, give a wave. We thank you very much for everything that you do for us.
That was the shortest speech Paul Stasiak's ever had in 17 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a good friend of mine, the president and CEO of Iskolo Development. Please welcome to the podium, Mr. Paul Iskolo.
Thank you, Jigster. Iskolo Development is pleased to host the 35th annual ball drop here at the historic Electric Tower. You know, the dropping of a ball to signify a moment in time began in England in 1829. British ship captain, member of the British Royal Navy, had the idea of creating a visual signal from land that could be seen by other ship captains, and they could use it to synchronize their chronometers to ensure accurate navigation. Soon, these time balls, as they became known, were built in many cities, and they were used as a form of public timekeeping. People would set their clocks by it, as would businesses that relied on precise time, such as banks, clockmakers, playhouses. As technology evolved, by the late 1800s, the need for these time balls went away, specifically with the advent of the wristwatch with a self-winding mechanism. But in the 80s, this tradition was brought back here by 97 Rock to the Electric Tower as the New Year's Eve ball drop at the Electric Tower. And it's such an important tradition, and we're so pleased to be able to be a part of it. Now for some fun facts about the ball itself. The ball is 5 feet high and 4 feet wide. It has 342 LED lights. It'll travel 108 feet down the face of the Electric Tower, coming to its precise resting location right at midnight on New Year's Eve. So I look forward to seeing everybody here to ring in 2023. Thank you.
All right. A ball, it's 5 feet high, Ed. We're very familiar with that height, you and I. Thank you so much, Paul. It doesn't get much better than New Year's Eve in Buffalo. And watching the ball drop, and also, of course, seeing the fireworks really illuminating the sky behind the Electric Tower. So we're also excited to announce that Buffalo's own Strictly Hip will be rocking the Illuminations entertainment stage this year. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will be. And I'll be doing music between their sets. We're looking forward to that as well. It's going to be great music by both bands, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the shoulder. Not this one, but the music's going to be outstanding. This will bring the press conference to a close. On behalf of my friends from WKBW-7 ABC and all of us at 97 Rock, thank you to everyone that works tirelessly every year to keep the tradition of the Buffalo Ball Drop and Fireworks alive for 35 years. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Jigster. Thank you again to all of our sponsors who make this event possible. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown, the City of Buffalo, Buffalo Police, Police Athletic League of Buffalo, M&T Bank, 7 WKBW, 97 Rock, Iskolo Development, Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Douglas Development, Frey Electric, AAA of Western and Central New York, Uber, Uniland Development, Modern Disposal Services, and the NFADA.
We also would like to thank Indigo Productions and Skylighters of Western New York, and a very special, important thank you to all the police and emergency services and security that keep this event safe. Thank you so much. They keep us safe, and it's a great, fun place to ring in the new year. Thank you.
And we want to remind you to watch 7 WKBW live on your favorite platform, and that includes our streaming app, WKBW app. That starts again at 10 o'clock. We'll be there for you on New Year's Eve. So on behalf of Ed and myself, we hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday season. We're going to see you on the final eve of 2022.
So bottom line here is, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Buffalo's in a great place, Buffalo's on the move, and 2023 is going to be a great year. Here's the mayor one more time, and Will Holton to wrap things up.
Thank you very much again. I want to thank Buffalo Place, the Buffalo Police Athletic League, M&T Bank, Iskolo Electric Tower, and all of our great sponsors and partners for making the 35th annual Ball Drop and Fireworks display possible. And as I conclude, I just want to say a word about Jigster, who has a hockey injury. But Jigster is just like our Buffalo Bills. While he's on injured reserve, he keeps going, he keeps winning. Go Bills, go Ball Drop. We'll open up to any questions that the members of the media might have now. Yes, sir. You know, like with any public event, if people are sick, we would recommend that they stay home. If people are immunocompromised, they probably, even though they will be outside, it'd probably be good to wear a mask. In terms of the safety of the event, I want to thank the Buffalo Police Department, the Buffalo Fire Department, who will have special safety plans to make sure that all of the revelers have a great and a safe time. There will be also other agencies that will be working with us to ensure public safety. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Mr. Belanger talked about resetting downtown. Downtown is still not where it can be. We're seeing a lot of empty spaces along Main Street. We see businesses. Feature just left with East Amherst. Expo hasn't reopened yet. Talk about downtown redevelopment, where we are now, and what's the long-term plan to get businesses back to downtown?
So part of the city's plan with the business community and with our residents is to create a 24/7 live, work, and play downtown. We've added a lot of housing to downtown Buffalo, many more housing developments on the drawing board and getting ready to be announced in 2023. Retail investing heavily again in downtown Buffalo. We'll see some of those projects announced in 2023. And Mr. Belanger talked about resetting downtown. One of the great resets is the M&T Bank Tech Hub, which will bring 1,000 employees to Seneca One in downtown Buffalo. So we're excited about what's happening in downtown. Downtown is being transformed, and in 2023, we will see more people populating downtown. We will see more projects announced, and downtown is going to continue to be vibrant and exciting, more exciting than ever before.
Is there anything available for families leading up to this? Because a lot of families don't want to just drive down at 11 o'clock at night. Is the city offering anything to have them downtown prior?
Yes, every year Independent Health has its family-friendly event that usually happens at the Buffalo Convention Center. That event will be happening again this year. It will be earlier than Ball Drop, but Ball Drop is family-friendly. A lot of families come to Ball Drop, literally hundreds of families come to Ball Drop and bring their young children. So I encourage everybody to stay downtown, to get a hotel room in downtown, enjoy Ball Drop, enjoy everything that downtown Buffalo has to offer. Excuse me, am I going to be performing? I think it will be the great saxophonist Will Holton that will be performing along with Strictly Hip, and DJ Jigster knows how to keep the crowd going. I might DJ with DJ Jigster. Thank you, everybody.